We have our John Deere 4630 here in the shop. And towards the end of last season, our blower fan stopped working up here. So nothing, key is on, and no power. So we're gonna have to go up above here and remove the top so we can get access to this to replace the fan. And we'll start out by taking these 3 screws out to get this roof off. One here, there's one over there, and there's one out there. And just take a big straight bit screwdriver and take them out. And drop it on the floor if you have to, like I just did. If you want to, get a magnetic tip screwdriver so you don't drop them on the floor. Or maybe have 2 hands available to add one on the camera. And we've got these 2 bolts out, and this one's just about out. Thankfully, none of them were rusted really bad to where I had to drill them or anything. So now that these 3 are out, I think there's 2 more maybe on top. Yeah, one here and one over there. And we're gonna take those 2 out as well. And this one will be 15/16 socket. And same for the other side. Let's see if I can reach it. And I'll have to move the mirror out of the way on the other side. Just swing the bracket for the mirror out of the way here before we lifted the top up. As you can see, that top just pivots up. There's 2 hinges in the back. I'll show you here shortly. But once you have the 2 bolts on top and the 3 in the front, fortunately ours just raised right up, no problems. It pivots here, but due to our height in our garage, our workshop, I've just moved this block to here and I put that little second piece over there. So if somebody accidentally raises the garage door, they don't damage the top of the tractor. So next piece we have to remove is this piece right here. Oh, better turn on before I do that. And next thing you want to do is take out these screws in the top, all the way around. And all the way across the back, and then we'll lift this top plate off. And we'll go ahead and remove the top. And it's not sealed with any glues, it just has this foam. And right there's our fans. And the air cleaner as well. Our fan spins easy on top, so we're gonna go ahead and take this loose, and we're gonna check our speed switch to see if it's not bad. Just take all these screws out around the outside. And once you have all the screws out, you can take this panel down out of the way so you can get access to the switch. And you'll have to take this little nut off right here so you can slide it over and out. Make sure your power is off. And to verify that the switch is good, I tested it, and I'm going to flip the switch to another position and it goes off. So that works in one position. So I believe the switch is okay. So we're going to go up on top and check on top. So we'll verify if we have power coming to our fans. And it's turned on. There's power coming up here, but they're not running. Yep. So we must have bad fans. So next thing we do is change out our fans. And we're going to be removing the fans, so we're going to have to take out some screws. Looks like one here, 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 here. Over here there's going to be 2. Over there there's going to be 2. So 8 screws. Once we get them out, we also have to take out, unplug these guys and these guys. So then once we have this assembly out, we can work on replacing the motors. Neither one are working right now. So let's go ahead and start taking some screws out. And we'll do these so you can see them a little bit better. And this is a long screwdriver. And once you have all 4 screws out of the bottom and your wires unplugged, I put a little red tape on this one so I knew the red wire went plugged back into it. Just reach down in, grab a hold, and lift it out. And this was on the right front, if it makes any difference. Now that we've got the motor off the top of the tractor, we're trying where we can work on it. Here's the replacement motor, and here's the part number from Shoop. It says Northern Radiator. But so we'll be replacing this motor with this guy. We'll take these bolts off here, 3/8, and then there's also some little clips. You can see them back in there, and those will have to come off the end as well. So we'll go ahead and take these off first. Okay, and then once you have these 2 nuts off, go ahead and take this bracket off. The wires will be on the right side. Lift this up. See if you can rotate the bottom piece out. And then you can take the fan motors and if you line them up just right, it will slide out the end. I'll tuck those in there so they don't get caught on anything. Then once you have them slid out the end, you'll be able to get these little guys off a little bit easier and put them on the new motor. So move this out of the way, and I'll get some clips or pliers so I can take these off. And we'll reach in there. I'll pull those out. And get the one on the other side. So we got both those out. And oddly enough, they have them on the inside here. So I'll have to get more creative with a pair of needle nose or something. And when you want to go to change these ends out, you have to compress this in. So you take a screwdriver and kind of push that in a little bit. And I might have pushed it in just a little too much, but we're not reusing this anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then just slide this one. Make sure you get lined up right. Slide it in there. You see where it's the center? Make sure you get in the center. I didn't the first time. And then it locks right in on its own. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop this one off too. Again, just reach in there, kind of push that in. And then take this one. And slide it in, fits good. So these two are done. And on my tractor, both the fans are bad. This one's been bad for a long time. This one just went out. So we've got the wires unhooked from this side. We've got the screws out. And again, you just lift it out. And you'll take it down and rebuild it the same way as the other one. On these motors, you saw before there's a clamp way down in there. So it's not easy to get to. So I've got these guys. Vice Grip makes them. And they angle back in there. And they make it so, if you can see it, but you can get that snap ring, that little clip off. So I need to clean these up. So I'm just going to take like a brush, a little soapy water, and clean them up. We'll clean them up inside, but it'll be the same again. There's another one inside this one. So you have to take these, reach up in there. Snap them off. And there it is. So that's how you get the spring clips off. Is you have to use some special vice grip pliers. Not the handiest thing. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up a little bit more. So I've got these cleaned up some, and I'm gonna go ahead and move the clips over. I have the wires coming out the same end. You can see these are basically the same size. And I'm gonna go ahead and slide the fan on until it is flush with the end. That's the way the old ones were. And again, this is flush with the end. It's the same width as this one I haven't taken apart yet. Wires come out the same side, and I'll just have to put these little clips back on. And I'll try not to cuss. Okay. And we'll kind of help putting them on. And we've got these cleaned up. And one thing I probably forgot to mention is that's a D-shaped hole. You see it better in the other one, but it's not a, there, that might be better. It's not round, it's like a D. And so it matches this flat. So I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but one thing you need to know. So flip this back this way, and we'll almost forgot to put the clip on. Put the flat up, slide it on until it's flush on this end. Put the clip on, and flat up, slide it on until it's flush on this end. And then I'll put these clips back on. I am going to try something real quick. Not sure how much tighter it would be with those already on ahead of time. Okay, it is on. Put the flat to the top. And actually you can still slide it on with them on ahead of time. So if you want to put these little clips on first, which would be much easier, don't throw them on, shoot them on the floor though. So go ahead and I'll put it on ahead of time. So there the clip is inside. Turn the flat up. It does slide on a little bit tighter, but it still slides on. And make the end flush. And they both look the same. No, I put this one on backwards. So I'll pop this one back off, but you get the idea. After a quick turnaround, just finish putting your clips on the ends, and they'll be ready to go in the tractor. Okay, so should be ready to go back in the tractor. Got the orientation right on these motors. So for the fan blades, I had them backwards, and put some clips on the ends and be ready to go. And we have to make sure we get these back in the housing the right direction. Previously, the wires were on the right side of the housing if you're at the front looking at the labels. So you can see the arrow here, and you can see the arrow here. So the arrows are the same, the wires on the same side, the blades are going the right direction, so hopefully everything works correctly. So we'll start reassembling them. Oh, and I already put these clips on the ends. So just be a matter of slipping this in, putting the clamps back on, the bolts back on, and back into the tractor. I'll just tuck these wires in here. There's one. I can kind of see the other one. That didn't work out so good. Try that again. And I'll tuck these wires down inside. So hopefully it pushes through okay. There's the wires. And get this lined up okay. There's not a lot of extra space. There it goes. And now I'll have to roll this around on the bottom side. Clamp on the top. Little washer on the back. Tighten these two up with a 3/8. Make sure both fans are equal distance inside. Looks good. Looks equal on the top. And I'm just going to repeat this same process with the other one. But make sure your wiring's on the right side and your arrows are coming forwards. You see the wire's on the right side, arrows coming over the top forwards. And we have the two new motors in, and we have both of them ready to go. So next thing, we're going to put them up on top of the tractor and bolt them in, putting screws on the sides. Putting the 4 screws in, each one at 8 total. And then hooking our wires back up. We're going to put these fan motors down in. This guy goes here, that one goes there. I cleaned the inside of this up some. It looked like this in there. So that should help the air quality out a little bit inside the cab as well. So I'll just set it down in there. Line up the holes. Do the same with the other one. Line up those holes. And we'll go ahead and tighten the screws up. And I'm using this Milwaukee light here, magnet right here, M12. This is extremely handy. I've got a review on it. If you want to check it out, it's on my channel. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put the screws in. And I'll probably grab a magnetic screwdriver for this job. So we'll go ahead and we've got all the screws in. Finish tightening them up. And then once the screws are all tight, we got the wires hooked up. I'll put a little zip tie on them to hold them to the hose like they were originally, and we'll be ready to do some testing. So we have both fans back in, and we got some zip ties holding everything in place. We've got the screws all tight. So it's about time to do some testing. Okay, let's take a check inside and see if these fans are going to work. Okay, and the cover is off of this. You saw me testing earlier. Plus, I'm getting ready to put a cab kit in this. So the headliner is going to come down, and I've already started on the interior, so you can watch the cab kit installation on this 4630. But we're going to turn it. Guess what? Let's turn the key on. There we go. And you can see the fan spinning up in here and over there. Turn it back off so I can see them stop. On and high. We have not had low speed in a long time. But there was low speed and off. So it is working. I cleaned the top cover off, and I had to find a couple screws. I had to get the magnet and find them back behind there, not surprising. But so we're going to go ahead and close this up. And I've got it set on number 2. I don't want to strip them out. And once I get done putting all these in, I'm going to go ahead and clean the rest of this around the top. Got a bucket of soapy water ready. And so this will look good underneath here again. And then it'll be time to clean the outside and put a new cab kit in it. We have the roof back closed and the bolts back in the top. Had a heck of a time getting this roof to close down. The back kept wanting to stay open, and that little bracket in the back, the scissors, was kind of rusty, so I actually had to put a board in between and kind of push it shut to help it out, and put some Croil on it to help loosen it up a little bit. But we got it closed up, and when we cleaned the inside, it made a horrible mess out of the outside. But we got these 3 bolts back in, and the fan works good. I appreciate you watching, and if you made it this far, that's great. Thanks again, and you have a good day.